Today, I'd like to share a simple way to support people in suffering. And that technique is called bearing witness. Another name that other people call is deep listening, or mindful listening, or compassionate listening. But it's all the same thing. It's about offer our ability to be with someone or a group of people who experience suffering. And that suffering can be losing someone they love, they experience illness, or they have been living in war and conflict, and they are working or living in a situation that is difficult, or they experience sexual violence or any form of violence. This skill or this technique can be applied to all. Because the whole point of this skill is we understand that the people who experience suffering, they have a wisdom, they have inner strength, and that wisdom has been used to help them survive. So when they came to us talking about their suffering, we honor that inner strength and the wisdom they have. With that belief system, we realize that when people tell us about their suffering, their problems, they just need to release the suffering inside their mind and their heart. They need someone just to be a witness, and they don't need advice. So deep listening comes from a belief that what we are helping and supporting people in suffering mainly is just to be present, to offer our mind and our heart to hear what they are talking, what they're going to share, and including what they are not ready to share. First, relax our body and our mind. Don't have to worry that we're going to have to help them by telling them what to do. The whole point is not telling people what to do. So deep listening is about believing that people don't seek advice. They just need someone. They need a friend. They need another human being to be there to hear their suffering. And second, to listen with respect. No need to ask questions because it's not interviewing, it's not to investigate their story. We create a safe space for a group of people, for someone to feel safe to talk about their problems, to cry, to be vulnerable. So our job is just to be there with our heart and our mind open. Listen to it with respect, no matter if a 7-year-old child, and even if that person do not speak the same language as you. You just offer your presence and fully committed for the next half an hour, for the next 1 hour. I'm committed to be with this person. I don't know who or she or he come from. I don't really know the experience. But I have trust that with deep listening, with being present, I can reduce a little bit of suffering of that person. And that's the best thing we can do at the moment. And please keep it confidential and allow emotion to express. Particularly when you work with boys and grown-up men, they will socialize, internalize that when they talk about their feeling or even they're gonna cry, they will try to suppress that emotion because it's been considered to them not real man, or even not a tough boy if you cry. So if you experience and see someone is struggle with emotion, you simply can just say, it's okay to cry. It doesn't mean you're weak. It's okay to be with your emotion. And some people feel ashamed, even among girls, right? Among women, that crying is about a shame and, something not appropriate to do. Again, support emotion by allow people to cry, or, and especially, allow some silence. When people tell you difficult story, sometimes they stop talking and telling because they got stuck with their own thinking and emotion that is arise inside. When they stop talking, it doesn't mean nothing is working inside. There's a lot going on inside that person who are sharing our suffering. So our job is to just relax our body, breathe in, breathe out, and again continue to be present and know that silence is important. Silence is part of being with the suffering and being with the person in front of us. No need to intervene by asking questions. And I also ask people who are going to practice this skill, don't just offer the hug as a way to show that you're caring. Some people experience sexual violence. They don't like to be touched. So when you think you're going to say something nice, you're going to touch, you can advise, it is about you, that who want to be a good helper. The whole point of deep listening is not about us, it's not about me. It's about the other person. Create a safe space for them to be who they are, to talk whatever they like to talk. And if they don't talk, it's also not our problem. People are not ready, because it must be in the experience in their life that they try to talk to someone they love and respect in the family, and they get judgmental, they got advice, or even they got more violence, right? So there are a long history of someone that walk on that path, a difficult path, before they come and meet us. So think about that, right? It's not about me, it's not about us who are practicing deep listening and want to be good, want to be helpful. It's about create that space for that person to take up that space to share. And at the end, I like to suggest that please be sincere when we listen to someone's story. Respect their experience, and you will see their strength, you will see the wisdom, you will just like, wow, you will be in awe, like, wow, how they overcome that. I would never imagine I can do that. So what happens when we do deep listening is that slowly, without judgment, without analyzing their problem, without trying to help, you slowly feel their inner strength. You see their wisdom, you see their creativity, you see their strong will, you can feel their courage, you can feel their amazing will to survive, to fight for justice, to fight for themselves, to fight for the family. This is what you will see if you really practice deep listening. So for me, at the end, after half an hour, I listen in and I just nod my head, have my eyes engaged to them, whole body relaxed and present and welcoming their story, whatever. You slowly to see the body of the person relax. You see the breathing is more normal. You can see their opening their chest, opening their shoulder, because they release the cloud, they release the mental, emotional suffering they've been suppressing, right? And then the pace of their talking are slower. And let me tell you, every single person, even the person who tried to commit suicide for a few times, they have a wisdom. They know how to solve their problem. But the reason they cannot solve the problem because they don't have enough power. They don't have all sorts of power or the condition to support them to solve the problem. So all they need is someone to be a witness, to listen to their real life experience, their courage. Please say thank you to that person. Thank you so much for trusting me. Thank you so much to share your life experience. If you want to say something, no need to give advice, no need to share your experience, but please tell them all the wisdom, all the power within them. For example, just say that you've been through a lot. Thank you so much for sharing me. What I saw in you, that you're so ethical. You love your family so much. You fight for justice. You sacrifice to help build your society. You are so patient. You forgive. You have a lot of compassion. You have a lot of courage. You have a strong will. You amaze me. That's what people want to hear. And what you are saying is not you make up the story for them. You really can see in that person, in that group. So you say so and reaffirming the power, the source of power, the strength the person or the group have. Because most of the time, other people don't see that. We live in a culture that often we blame the people. If we don't blame, we give them advice, right? So this is a new culture we practice. We empower by deep listening, by being present. And at the end, after thank you them, tell them all the power within, all the strength, the wisdom, anything that we have in them. And this way, we change the culture from blaming to encouraging, to the culture of empowerment. And this is the way to be useful and to help And that comes from a practice. And that comes from a commitment that we're going to live in a new culture. The culture that only sees the people's strength, not the limitation.